customer journey. This has led to frustrations for their customers, and sometimes also causes possible loss of business and revenue. Let's take a look at the communication landscape today and examine the major challenges that exist within. So this picture resonates with many of us, where businesses really want to respond to the ever-evolving customer demands. The challenge with that is there is no single point of orchestration. It appears like a lot of software, APIs, a lot of channels and agents, as well as workloads to deal with. Sometimes you'll find customers that try and implement siloed products, either on-premise or in the cloud. Sorry, Olatai, I think there's some technical glitches here. Yeah, so I need to start. Olatai, okay, maybe you want to take it from here.
Hello, everyone. There has been a technical glitch. I just heard from the FinTech team that we need to start again. I guess we thought we were live, but we had some challenges. So I think we're just going to start again. We're just live now. Can you confirm if we're good to go? Okay. So we'll start again. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to InfoBip session on why Nigerian businesses should embrace a unified customer experience strategy. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. I guess the glitches took us back. We've done a couple of slides before now. My name is Olatai Oladipo Ajayi. I'm the country manager of InfoBip Nigeria. And with me are my great colleagues. I have Chijoke, our senior sales manager, and I have Tolu Lokpe, our senior pre-sales engineer for InfoBip Nigeria. Thank you all for joining us once again. And earlier we ran through the agenda. I'm going to be talking a little bit about InfoBip again. Then Chijoke and I will run through today's communication challenges as regards how it affects enterprises today in Nigeria. Then we'll have Tolu come up to share with us InfoBip's unified customer experience solutions. Then we will have Chijoke tell us the good story and the good news around what we've been able to do with some customers around our customer success stories, specifically talking about Ikeja Electric, which is probably the biggest power distribution platform in Nigeria. We'll talk about the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and what we've been able to do with them during the pandemic. And we'll talk about the Golden Child Pay Stack and what we're doing with them recently. We'll also encourage you to drop your comments. I mentioned that earlier. Then we're going to have a question and answer session. And we'll talk a little bit about our special FinTech Week offer, which is a great surprise that I will expose at the end of the talk. So to mention a bit about InfoBip. InfoBip is a global cloud communications platform. We enable businesses to build connected customer experiences all through the stages of the customer's journey with easy and contextualized interactions over the customer's preferred channels. So the keywords here, like I mentioned earlier, is the customer's experience, and the customer's preferred channel. And the idea is to simplify communications, provide a single platform, a single point of service delivery, a single dashboard where the business can orchestrate various services to their customers, be it on any type of channel, online, real time, and whatever situation it is, be it at the point of making a choice or be it at the point of trying to help the customer decide on what to do or help the customer get resources. So the idea about it is our business and our definition is designed to help businesses grow and also create a very formidable customer loyalty strategy. I'll talk more about InfoBip later. I'll go straight to the topic of today. I'm going to touch points with the communication challenges that we have in the Nigerian businesses face. Like I always explain to people, which I spoke about earlier before the technical glitch. Digital transformation is the reason why we have channels, and the reason why we have channels is to ensure customer experience is met and customer satisfaction is met as fast as possible. So in the past, we had a divide between the customer and the channels, where they both run parallel, and the businesses tell the customers what to do and what channels to use. But the paradigm has shifted. Now you have the customer smack in the middle of the whole digitization process, where you have the channels now surrounding the customer. So be it the email, SMS, be it the physical branch, be it the chatbots, be it the chat apps, be it the mobile app, whatever it is, surrounds the customer. And that is what the digital transformation is all about. And the idea is we should be visible, and our solutions and our offerings should be visible at every point, at every touch point, not directly transferring the customer to the one that we feel is the best for the customer. So I put down some note before I bring up Chijioke again. I said, just as the nucleus is the center of the atom, the customer is the center of the digital journey. Digitization is expressed over multiple channels, like I said, and the outcome of your digital journey is only expressed and can only be successful based on the dexterity of your channels. I also said that the digital channels are actually meant to help the customer and not jail the customer. So we tend to jail the customer when we tell the customer that he must use this or he must use that. Case in place, where you tell your customer to go to the physical branch before he can get some particular approvals done, or he has to go and download some information somewhere, and he needs some files and whatnot. So the idea is we need to understand that it is now the time of the customer. And so we need to tailor our digital strategy in a way where it allows our channels to be fluid and provide as much services as possible on each of the channels. So I'll jump into the next discussions with Chijioke. Chijioke, I'd like you to take it from here. The phrase that I said earlier, I said companies aren't expected to be available all the time anymore, but more like they are expected to be available anywhere and on any channel. So take it from here, Chijioke.
All right, thank you, Alata. Good afternoon, everyone again. Sorry about the earlier glitch we had. I'll pick up from where Alata has left off, and try and put the conversation in proper perspective. So, like I said, because the customer is the focus, the expectation in this age of digital transformation, right, is that companies are not just expected to be available all the time anymore. Customers want businesses that they deal with to be available whenever and wherever. What that means is that a good customer experience is therefore one that allows customers to securely communicate with the business through their preferred channel of communication. And these channels of communications could either be through SMS, email, chat apps, voice, etc. Now, there's so many channels and touch points throughout the customer engagement process, right? And it's become more and more confusing for organizations to manage and deliver a seamless customer journey. This clearly has led to frustrations for most of their customers, and sometimes causes possible loss of business and revenue for these companies. So let's take a look at the communication landscape today and examine some of the major challenges that exist within. So this picture definitely resonates with many of us here in Nigeria, where businesses really want to respond to the ever-evolving customer demands. The challenge with that is there is no single point of orchestration in trying to stitch all of that together. It appears like a lot of software, a lot of APIs, a lot of channel and agents, and workloads to deal with. Sometimes you'll find where many organizations are trying to implement siloed solutions or siloed products, either on-premise or in the cloud, but somehow further complicates issues, and it now leads to more frustration for their customers. So for me, as we think about the transformation of the customer journey, businesses need to partner with providers that are able to offer an all-in-one solution, and try to simplify deployment and reduce operational costs at the same time. So the big question here is, where is a good place to start and how? A good place to start maybe would be ensuring that there's a single point of contact for all communication needs, where all customers are managed efficiently and effectively from one platform. Starting with a provider, a solutions provider that understands, the growing complexity of communications and is able to simplify it at the same time, is very key to the success of any business. InfoBip over the years has proven to be a solution provider that can provide, a consistent, personalized, omni-channel customer experience. We're simply in the business of creating seamless interactions between businesses and people. So we'll be discussing some of the solutions that address these issues. And to do this, I'm going to bring on my colleague Tolu, who will talk us through InfoBip's unified CX solutions and how these solutions ensure a rewarding customer experience. So Tolu, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Shijuke. Yeah, so I think my colleagues have said a lot in terms of exactly what the value.
Tolu, we can't hear you. I think you're mute.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you
Tolu,
hear me?
we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
That's a problem. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
I was alarmed. Okay. Yeah. So I was saying my colleagues have said a lot around the value proposition of having a single point of communications for your customer engagement, and more towards that, like what are the points behind that as regards you as a brand? Well, first of all, across multiple channels, you get to enable communication with your clients anywhere, right? Especially if we're talking about the fintech space, more than probably any other industry, yours is a global one. Yours is a global industry, and your communication has to be dynamic to meet that need, right? You also need to be able to protect your brand across all these multiple channels, and of course, expand your customer base. In InfoBip's, 10 plus years of providing channels of communication for people across the world. We've found that customer engagement can be sort of divided into three segments, right? So there is two-way interaction between you as a brand and your customer that is manual, meaning interaction between an agent or one of your employees or a representative of your brand to your customers, right? So this is manual communication, this is two-way, and like I said, so it's interactive, right? And for businesses, this was the evolution behind going from a call center, where that interaction was over voice historically, to now what is called the contact center, where it's across multiple channels. So not just voice, it's voice over IP, and it's all these digital channels, SMS with automation, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, etc. And for that, we have a solution called Conversations, right, which allows your representative, your agent, as an extension of your brand to interact with your customers at scale, right? So for example, using one of the chat channels as an example, so Viber, WhatsApp, and whatnot, your agents are able to interact with your customers over the same line, and that scales across multiple agents. Then we move on to the second sort of segment of customer engagement, which is still two-way interaction, but it is based on automated responses, right? And that is structured around static information. So information about your business, about your processes, FAQs, and not just static information, but static processes as well. So these are the bread and butter things that your customers, the things that your customers engage your business on. So if we're talking about the financial sector, we're talking about user balance, we're talking about account administration, we're talking about user data and that sort of thing, user information updates and all that. Those are static processes, right? They don't change. The back end behind them doesn't change, or it doesn't change often. And those sorts of things, you're able to automate that interaction through automated two-way tools. And our answer to that is Answers, is our solution that we call Answers. And what it allows you to do is to build out these automated scenarios, these chatbots, to tailored specifically to your brand, to your business. And the upside of them is, one, they're available 24/7, right? So no human interaction is needed. They're optimized for cost, meaning they are built to scale, and you can scale up or down based on your needs. And you don't need to add growth planning in regards to your tools when you are doing like your yearly strategy and all that sort of thing. You can scale on demand, whether it's to scale up or scale down. And then, of course, there is customer engagement that's more around marketing, right? So it is this sort of dynamic interaction that sometimes is one way, but in a lot of times is two-way, in that there is a sort of feedback loop that you want to have. You want to have some sort of recursive feedback from your customers, how they're using your products and your services, their feelings about your products and your services, and shape that perception of your brand. And for that, we have our solution called Moments, which allows you build out these automated scenarios based on event triggers and things like that. So you're able to set up automations for things as simple as birthday reminders or birthday offers or that sort of thing, appreciating your customers, to much more complex and dynamic situations like periodic reminders based on certain triggers. So if your services are based on some sort of reminder, some sort of feedback from your customers, some sort of input outputs, give and take sort of system, you're able to build out these automated scenarios. And across all of these solutions, you're able to do them across channels, right? And this eases operations for your internal staff, and they're able to do, again, everything from one platform. And again, that is the central value proposition around everything we're saying. And aside from all of that, because these are cloud solutions and because these are modern solutions, all of the simple, sort of straightforward, but highly secure integrations that have, in a lot of sense, been a pillar of what has made fintech companies so successful, right? The ability to integrate relatively seamlessly with all these other companies and all these other service providers. That is available here as well across all three solutions, right? So you're able to perform cross integrations between your services and solutions with InfoBip and your external platform or your payment platform, and form one cohesive solution. And again, at the center of all of this is InfoBip's proprietary platform, right? Which you're able to use to create unified customer profiles, set up all these automation and orchestration scenarios, and just as importantly, see real-time analytics metrics and in-depth reporting on exactly how all of these things that you deployed are performing. And with that, you can optimize your marketing spend, right? You can stop wasting messages and wasting time on particular customers. You can refine your engagements with your particular customers, and you can deepen personalization and your brand, the intimacy of your brand within the societies and the environments that it plays. So all of this stuff is not novel, right? And it has been particularly highlighted in this particular period where we are, where businesses had to adapt to situations where they could no longer reach their clients in person, and all of the amazing business challenges that this year has provided. So the next question is, how have customers in real time used our solutions to adapt to these situations, right? And Chijioke has a select few of the ones that we've done in this regard. So Chijioke, please tell us about it.
Thanks, Tolu. So I'll be sharing 3 customer stories today, which of course are amongst many others that we've recorded globally. Just like Olata had said at the beginning, we'll be focused on Ikeja Electric, Nigerian Center for Disease Control, and Paystack. We partnered with these organizations throughout their customer experience transformation journey. And I'll briefly talk about what their key goals were and objectives, what CX solution was deployed, and some of the milestones that were put in place by the customer, in measuring success levels. So I'll start with Ikeja Electric. So Ikeja Electric is arguably one of the biggest electricity distribution companies in Nigeria. At the time, they struggled with their customer engagement model for very simple and mundane processes, such as bill payments, equipment fault reporting, application for meters, and general customer complaints. I mean, these are big issues when it comes to power in Nigeria. So we deployed InfoBip's conversational chatbot called Answers, which Tolu had earlier talked about. And this chatbot was deployed over the WhatsApp for Business channel. This immediately gave customers, the opportunity for instant responses to frequently asked questions, access to personal account information, as well as providing secure links to payment platforms in paying bills and all of that. For Ikeja Electric, they were able to cut down operational costs. And this was due to the fact that the solution was providing self-service support to its customers. Some of the milestones that the customer had put in place was to record a 10% improvement on customer satisfaction within the first 2 months, and then also a 30% reduction on contact center workloads, during business hours. The third was also to try and reduce the time to close for tickets from 8 hours to 4 hours. So this was partnership, and it's still partnership in progress. The customer has happy customers. The business has got happy customers at the moment, and we're still in the process of that journey. The second is the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC. As many of us are aware, there were significant spikes in the number of cases, at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. The NCDC at that time wanted to provide a central source of verified, accurate, and up-to-date information. And their goal was to try and keep Nigerians constantly updated with the pandemic, but more importantly, share tips on staying safe and preventing a further spread of the virus. So when we partnered with NCDC, we deployed a chatbot over the WhatsApp channel to provide this 24/7 automated service. That automatically relieved the NCDC with having agents at the back end to respond. However, in cases where they required human intervention, the chatbot would automatically pass to a live agent, and there would be no need going over, that's the caller, going over what that request was from the beginning. Part of the milestones for success was to provide a 24/7 instant access to all information about the virus. Like I said, transfer to live agents for information that was outside the FAQ's scope, and then actually even reporting live cases with the public. Another thing was timely intervention and timely share about COVID-19 and the updates that we all received as part of the Nigerian public. The third is Paystack. By the way, congratulations to Paystack on the recent acquisition. At the time of this partnership, Paystack wanted critical messages delivered to their customers, and also wanted to improve digital communication, increase customer engagement, as well as reduce communication costs. We partnered with Paystack to deploy our SMS service for one-time passwords, and part of the plan in that partnership is to expand the channels of communication using platforms like WhatsApp for the same service. So we've got WhatsApp for Business OTP solution, and then now use the SMS as a failover channel. Part of the milestones for success was they were looking out for improvements in customer engagements by at least 70%. They wanted 40% conversion rates to the WhatsApp channel, and then also 80% reduction in customer complaints. So, like I said, these are just 3 customer success stories which we've decided to share with you today. As you've heard or as you've seen, the underlying denominator here is that there was a significant improvement in customer engagement across these 3 customer success stories. And we've got many more across the globe where we do business. It might interest you to know that more than 60% of the world's population uses InfoBip service without even realizing it. So those are the customer success stories that we've got. And at this point, I'll just hand over to Olatayo to continue with the rest of the presentation. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chijioke. Thank you so much. And that was really great from Tolu as well. Tolu, thank you so much. You really put together the discussions around the solution so in a compact way where we can all have a good understanding of what exactly these customer experience solutions are. And Chijioke, that was a good one, especially the fact what we did with the NCDC. Like to restate, it was really impactful, and not just about the value in terms of commercial value, but in terms of the impact in society and the lives that I believe were impacted and probably saved in that process. The first week we launched it, we had tons and tons of thousands of people using the WhatsApp channel to get information, to contact the NCDC, and to bust all the myths and all the fake news that he had going around and around that period. It was really impactful. So I'll just really briefly talk about InfoBip's value and why we say we have an advantage above and beyond similar brands, like us, globally. So we're local and also a global brand. We're spread over 65 countries. We have physical offices in over 65 countries and across 6 continents. We pride to say that we are connected to close to 7 billion people and things globally. We have a unique advantage because from a network basis, we're connected to over 600 mobile network operators globally. So not just on the local platform, but if you look at what's been happening even locally from Nigeria, most organizations that have a multinational strategy use InfoBip to spread into the African countries or even Europe or Asia or wherever the business might be taking them to. Case in example, probably if you see the Nigerian banks, most of the Nigerian banks use a lot of InfoBip services locally and internationally. Like I tell people that when you want to, maybe generally people on this session most probably have used InfoBip's service today. So every time you get an alert on your phone, there's a huge probability, probably 80%, that that message was trunked via InfoBip's platform. So aside from that, we put a lot of skin in the game. We have 28 data centers across the world. We handle our data completely 110% because of the sensitivity of our customer data. We are compliant with a lot of the world, global and local standards, especially when you talk about data protection. We're really, really keen on that, and we're in the front playing in that space. And all the other things around specific industries like the financial industry, like the e-commerce industry, we are very in the front when it comes to regulations and security. One of the key things that we bring to the table is our customer experience strategy and our approach. Because we're a customer experience brand and we provide businesses with customer experience, we also have a robust and formidable customer experience platform. So we have a 24/7 support and monitoring platform, which is always 99.99% up all the time. We engage our customers at every point of required support. Technical expertise, over 850 engineers consistently building this on solutions, consistently updating, consistently making them add value to our customers. I would like to talk about one of the major reasons why we're different. Because over the years, InfoBip has been able to build this formidable stronghold of what you call communications platform as a service, where we have integrated various channels across board, from voice to SMS, email, to live chat, to RCS, to web RTC, and so many other integrations. We've created a very formidable layer where in the recent, we've now put on top what we call our software as a service layer, which comprise of the solutions that Tolu just described. We have the contact center as a service solution. We have our chatbot solution called Answers. We have Moments, which is our customer engagement platform and analytics platform. These solutions sit on top a very strong foundation of our CPaaS that we've created over the years, and it allows us to do unthinkable orchestrations for our customers. So if you think about it, we most probably can't do it. And I would like to touch note here as we enter the question and answer segment. Chijoke and Tolu, do you guys have anything you want to put in at this point? You have something to say?
Please,
thank you guys for listening again.
Sorry, Chijoke, and
Tolu, what about
we
you?
have about 8 minutes to run up this session, please.
Okay, great.
Session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So do we have questions?
Tyler, real quick. There's a question that was posted here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Tolu.
Yeah, so the question, I think it was Shion that forwarded it to us. It says some companies are segmented for effective management. We speak of one platform, so we've been speaking about everything being on one platform. Does InfoBip have the potential of compartments? So I think he's probably speaking to our ability to compartmentalize for larger enterprises, right? So separate departmental accounts and what. And yeah, absolutely. We're able to, the whole back end of our platform and our services is completely, again, it's all proprietary, meaning it was built by us. So we are able to create whatever sort of separation and encapsulation that we think is best fit. We have multiple large enterprises that use our services, and their consumption and their usage is separated by department, and we're able to accommodate that. And even on the solution level, like on the portal level, even within departments, we have role-based access control enabled or implemented for users, meaning only people with the required level of access can do specific things, right? So this allows everyone to sort of know their role and be able to perform their role specifically and not much more. So yeah, I think that answers that. And then there's another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, there's another question. I think you and Chijuke can jump on this one.
Yeah, could you read it out for us, please?
Okay, it says, hello InfoBip team. Why is SMS delivery to Airtel poor on your platform?
Okay, I think that is a good question. It's more of a technical topic. I think most of the time, we take the blame for a lot of things that happen on other platforms as well. But I'll be glad to have that discussion with you after this meeting so that we can dive into it in specifics. Is there any other question there?
Ty, if you don't mind, I want to add something there.
Okay, go ahead.
So usually, and this is from an engineering standpoint, if you're using a service and there's something wrong with maybe one particular thing or one particular service that is, or one particular part of the service, then there's probably something more complex at work there. The same way we are a service provider to our clients, telcos and similar entities are service providers to us. Sometimes there are teething issues between our organizations, and these are technical things that people look after 24/7. It's not always perfect, and that's where we have service level agreements to make sure that services are at least up to a certain standard. And then there are other things that come into play, right? Like D&D and all that, that add a lot of variance into client service experience. But this is part of why we are a major part of the conversation, because we are constantly in communication with telcos and operators and with regulatory bodies like NCC to make sure that businesses get optimal use of these channels. So
Excellent, Tolu.
that was
Thank you very much.
Raphael.
Yeah,
No problem.
and I think it's also important that we get the details of the gentleman or lady that dropped that message so that we can, go into the specifics. Thank you so much, Tolu, for answering that. So I guess there's no more questions for now. I would like to briefly talk about our offer for the FinTech Week. We're given a 45 days to 60 days free combined solution for the participants and the session visitors here, where you can put your enterprise on one of the key channels that we are working on now, which is WhatsApp, and it will provide you an unthinkable array of features and services. But it's something we need to talk about outside here. You can engage myself, Chijioke, or Tolu outside this event or this session and drop a note, and so we can take a discussion forward. So our contact details are right there. I hope you're able to see it. So at this point, I really want to thank everybody. Thank you for having us on this particular call. And in conclusion, I would like to say that customer expectations today are higher than ever before, and we do hope that as we move ahead together, we'll be able to add more value to you. The question is, how ready are you and how ready is your business to embrace and respond to this new customer demand? So like I said, we are available for you, and we will be very happy to take this further with you outside of this session. Thank you very much. And on behalf of Infobip, and guys, you want to say goodbye? On behalf of also Chijioke and Tolu, have a great rest of the day and enjoy the rest of the sessions. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olatayo, Chijioke, and Tolu Lokbe for your insightful session. And thank you also for the gift. Thank you for the gift. You can actually engage Infobip and all other partners at the exhibition booth on the platform. Please explore the platform. The platform has a lot of features for you to explore, interact with it, and try to make the most of the week, the FinTech Week. One of the most important things about events is the fact that you also get to network and meet people. That also opens the business channels to more businesses. So thank you very much to the Infobip team, and thank you for the offer. So at this point, I'd like to, first of all, ask you to leave the platform to join the next session. The next session, that if you're on YouTube, no need, just stay where you are. But if you are on the platform, you have to leave and then go down and join the next session, which I would announce, which is the soft pay session. But remember that you can also interact with both the speakers, the guests, and every other person you meet there. You can chat, you can meet, you can go to the exhibition booth as well. Okay, with that said, I hope that people are already joining the other session. It's been a very remarkable day so far, and it continues. A day of value, excitement, a day of learning. And the next session will be one that will feature the launch of Soft Pay by Soft Alliance. And to do that is a gentleman, Damilola Daudu, who's the AGM, Billings, Payment Systems at Software Alliance. Please join me and welcome Damilola Daudu as he shares his thoughts on Soft Pay and what is planned for everyone. Damilola, please join me.